Kyrie Irving was traded to the Dallas Mavericks.
Wait, what? Kyrie Irving is ruining his career and taking down teams with him, but the Mavericks don't care. Luka demanded help and the Mavs delivered for half a season because Kyrie's contract ends this season. Yeah, the Mavericks trade Dinwiddie, Dorian Finney Smith, 1 first-round pick, 2 second-round picks for a rental. And they're not even hiding it. With Kyrie, all you get is uncertainty. Uncertainty about him playing games. Uncertainty on if he'll create distractions off the court. I mean, the entire Nets organization was caught off guard, including KD. The Nets were playing well, went 17-2 before KD got hurt and looked like they were figuring it out. Kyrie even said he would never leave number 7, and then all of a sudden, as KD's about to come back, he demands a trade? Add that comment to the list of lies Kyrie has stated about staying. Actually, I wouldn't call them lies. I would call it fickle-mindedness, which leads to uncertainty. Especially since Kyrie is likely to be your second best player on a championship level team. But it's why multiple teams dismiss trading huge assets for Kyrie. It's why when you see reports about teams pursuing Kyrie, you'll see statements like, Ty Lue is open to coaching Kyrie, as if that's big news for an all-star, or that the Heat are worried about handling Kyrie day to day. And the Nets organization wanted to make sure Kyrie didn't get his preferred destination and sent him to Dallas. To all Lakers fans, stop believing we'll get every star. Thanks. Cause LeBron down bad. But if you're excited and liking the content, subscribe. Trying to get to 1 mil in 2023. The Nets petty, man. They'd rather lose with KD than give Kyrie what he wants? They didn't even accept the Suns' offer of Chris Paul, Jay Crowder, and picks? KD out here is still stuck in his contract. Ben Simmons was right. This is scary for KD.
Come on, man.
Yeah, we'll talk about the Luka and Kyrie encore fit. But even the front office is worried about the fit personality-wise. Alright then. And we've seen Kyrie's history with his teammates and organizations. Kyrie has played with LeBron, Tatum, Brown, Durant, Harden, and now gonna be Luka. Because as a basketball player, we all know Kyrie is special. But part of getting paid in the NBA is to handle all that comes with the attention, the business side. Kyrie is 30 years old. He's supposed to be in the middle of his prime. But even we don't know how long Kyrie wants to play, which is fine. That is up to him. But what Kyrie does next will dictate his whole career and the future of a lot of franchises. What is up, dudes, to that's Ballers Players? It's your boy MJ. I was already working on this video when the trade request came out because it didn't matter what team Kyrie was going to end up on. The Lakers, Clippers, Heat, Bulls, Suns, and now Mavericks, because the story is the same. While I think a Luka and Kyrie pairing is going to be so fun to watch, it's hard to get excited when you look just a little deeper. The Mavericks are banking on the fact that they can get Kyrie to stay, because effectively you've traded your only other ball handler, Spencer Dinwiddie, you lost Jalen Brunson to my Knicks, we're happy, and you've also traded draft picks as assets. They're all in play with the limited assets they have is Kyrie Irving, without Kyrie ever once stating that he would re-sign with the Mavs. Make it make sense. The Mavs are hoping for a Paul George type situation, a star who clearly wanted to be on the Lakers but got sent to OKC and liked Russ and the organization enough to sign a 4-year contract. And don't get it twisted, Kyrie Irving is a star. He has been one since he was 20 years old. He's averaged 24 points a game on 39% from 3 for the past decade, with possibly the best handle we've ever seen.
He's just knifing right through the...
He won a championship at the age of 23. LeBron said he wanted to see Kyrie as MVP of the league. He just became part of the 50-40-90 club 2 seasons ago, 27 points a game this season on the Nets, who are 3rd in the East. But Kyrie has had multiple situations that were tailored to his liking that never worked. No one understood why Kyrie was walking away from routine trips to the NBA Finals and getting the opportunity to play alongside the best player in the world on the Cavs. Oh, but that was the problem, because people often forget that Kyrie was actually granted assurance from the Cavs that he would be the man going forward after signing a brand new $90 million contract in 2014. Well, then the team went down and signed LeBron in free agency just a week later. So whatever hopes of becoming the man on the team Kyrie had was immediately thrown out the window.
coming no more.
LeBron's block was more credited than Kyrie's shot. Kyrie averaging 27 points a game in the finals was an afterthought. When looking closely into it, the truth is, Kyrie might have been jealous of LeBron all along, or at least felt like he wasn't getting the credit he deserved. And so he forced his way out of Cleveland, saying that he wouldn't play, that he would get a knee surgery during the season, and he got traded. Kyrie went to the Celtics in 2017 and was the man, the main star of the show, but he couldn't handle all that came with it. Kyrie got hurt, and the Celtics without him went to the Eastern Conference Finals in 2018. But when Kyrie and Hayward came back, the organization and players couldn't navigate how to distribute roles, and chaos ensued. He said he would re-sign with the Celtics to start the 2019 season, but he threw his teammates under the bus by calling LeBron to apologize for not knowing what leadership took. He said his young guys don't know what it takes to win the championship. He publicly called out the guys on his team and even his head coach anytime they would lose to a horrible team. Again, the relationship as people doesn't seem to be a problem. Every time Kyrie sees his former Celtics teammates, it's all love. But Marcus Smart said one thing that summarizes the entire issue, that the Celtics never truly understood Kyrie, and Kyrie has had issues expressing what he wants. I mean, even on the Cavs, Kyrie would sometimes not talk to his teammates during playoff runs.
It's like, what the hell?
And no one on the Cavs seemed to have a problem with that. It's almost as if Kyrie believed he was LeBron. He saw LeBron up close get what he wanted from the organization, LeBron firing passive-aggressive shots at teammates in the public that sort of worked, and that's what happened on the Celtics and Nets. Remember when he publicly stated that the Nets need 1 to 2 more pieces?
It's pretty glaring that we need, 1 more piece or 2 more pieces that will complement myself.
Nice. Nets have been holding their breath since 2019. Locker rooms be chaotic. I mean, Kyrie said that the Nets didn't even need a coach. What? You can't make this up. Contrary to belief, Kyrie has remained available, playing 88% of his games in the season before COVID and around 75% of games in the seasons before that. But Kyrie has taken it one step further by simply refusing to play, especially when a team desperately needs him. And no, I'm not talking about the vaccine mandates because that's a once-in-a-century type of global situation, but those other games that Kyrie is out for personal reasons, like a 7-game absence because he needed a break, nearly 10% of games in a regular season, or a game here, that's inexcusable. Or even his polarizing comments that lead to more consequences. I stand for being able to say what you want, but as a person of influence, it is your responsibility to effectively communicate. Is it fair? No, but it comes with the job. But even with that, this season he's played 76% of his games, averaging 27 points. He's one of the best point guards in the NBA when he played. But those breaks are surprises that ruin the flow and chemistry which is needed for a championship. It's why Harden left and got replaced with Ben Simmons, who Kyrie clearly has gotten frustrated with.
Shoot it, Ben! Shoot the fucking ball, Ben!
The Nets acquired KD, Kyrie, and Harden in the past 3 seasons just for all of them to request trade. Keep in mind, Kyrie is the one that pushed Durant to sign with the Nets in 2019. Homecoming for Kyrie, he chose the team for the first time in his career. The organization and culture seemed right. The team was happy and overachieving through savvy moves, rebuilding after their horrible trade with the Celtics, and now they looked like this. And this trade request only adds to the list of decisions that make him the most confusing basketball player ever. Now, Luka hasn't really dealt with a high maintenance player and has been pretty low-key himself for being an MVP candidate at 23 years old. He's just as old as Kyrie was when Kyrie first played with LeBron. But we've seen Luka get frustrated over and over again on the court, and the Mavericks can't afford losing a generational talent, especially since they struggle with attracting anyone in free agency. Now, Luka is signed on for 5 more years, but let's take a second and think about that on-court fit. Luka has the 5th highest usage in the past decade. He's scoring 80% of his field goals unassisted and putting up 2K numbers, averaging 33.4 points, 8.9 rebounds, and 8.2 assists. He's in much better shape, on pace to have his most dunks in a season, and the Mavericks literally can't do anything without him. What is that? But Luka is also horrible off ball. Or well, he doesn't actually move off ball. And Kyrie is a point guard who thrives with the ball in his hand.
Irving pulls it back.
But of course, we've seen Kyrie play off-ball at the biggest stage with LeBron. And while LeBron is a similar comparison to Luka, so far in Luka's career, we have seen him not just only do everything, but also dominate the ball. Of the past 6 seasons, Luka has 2 of the highest average times of possessions in the league. But those glaring issues subside the moment you realize that Luka finally has a guy that can create his own shot and is a star. The Mavericks offense has the highest isolation offensive frequency because their offense is literally running through Luka, and if Luka sits, run the same isolation offense through Dinwiddie. Kyrie without Kevin Durant has been able to lead the Nets to a 116 offensive rating, easily better than anything the Mavericks do without Luka. Nothing against Dinwiddie, I like his game and I think he'll thrive with the Nets again, but Kyrie demands more attention and spaces the floor significantly more. But that also means the Mavs are going to struggle defensively. Luka, Kyrie, and losing Dorian Finney Smith, the Mavericks are already 24th in defensive rating. It's GG's. And perhaps Luka will adjust. I mean, this is exactly what he wanted, right? He still isn't exactly the best spot shooter on a very limited sample size, but he does shoot 38% on wide open threes, and it's more of a respect thing. Stars will be more likely to adapt for another star. Of course, the Mavericks aren't building for the regular season, I hope. This is for the playoffs where we've seen Luka be the man but fall short, sometimes even be gassed in the fourth quarter when the entire defensive focus is on him. Porzingis didn't help.
Boy, ain't no way, boy.
The Mavericks are most likely going to run Kyrie as a shooting guard, similar to what the Nets did with Harden and Kyrie sharing minutes. Let the playmaker continue to playmake and let the scorer get better looks. I mean, y'all were saying Luka and Harden are the same, right? But I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea how Jason Kidd is gonna design an offense. He has more pieces to work with now, but from what we've seen, his offense is literally give the ball to one player and get out of the way. Reminds me of another coach. Yeah, Steve Nash, who felt like he had no option but to play Kevin Durant 40 plus minutes. That sounds familiar to Kidd. Well, damn. Now, the Mavericks are confident that Jason Kidd will figure it out, and we've seen the revitalization of the Nets under Vaughn. The team began to run more offensive sets that weren't just ISOs. The team began to trust each other, and the Nets were on their way to becoming the best team in the East before KD went down. Which leads to a really interesting question. Why did Kyrie request a trade? Was it because he wasn't the main guy? Was it because of the Nets' demand list after Kyrie refused to apologize for his comments? Because the Nets were as close to a perfect situation as he could have gotten. Kyrie's called Kevin Durant his best friend.
Talking to KD, he goes, I love watching Kyrie do what he do.
Yeah, nah, that's just enough respect for the brotherhood, and it's my best friend.
Aww. He's from New Jersey, so homecoming, got rid of Steve Nash, the coach didn't like, got rid of James Harden, the star that didn't have good chemistry, and if the Nets were all that, what can the Mavericks do to make him stay? I don't know the answer to that, and I don't even know if Kyrie knows. They have 30 games to change his mind. Otherwise, trading Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney Smith along with a first-round pick is a whole lot to get nothing back, and will set the Mavericks back, especially since they don't have the cap space and want to keep Luka long-term. The Nets were supposed to be a championship team. I don't think Kyrie on the Mavs puts them over the hump. Kyrie's career trajectory has taken hit after hit. Self-sabotage. His word, at least professionally speaking, doesn't hold value, and there's not any self-accountability. But the Mavericks know all this and still took a chance that doesn't really check out. None of this checks out. I'm cool with Kyrie doing whatever he wants. He doesn't have to play basketball if he doesn't want to and has earned millions. He can pursue other adventures, chill, whatever he wants. But if he's going to keep playing in the NBA, there's gotta be more of a commitment. When things get tough, it can't be, I'm out. But I'm not here to judge Kyrie as a person. We've just seen a repeat history of Kyrie bailing, and he might do that with the Mavs again. The all-day notification rush out goes to an OG day one, my girl Maria Jo, who's sad Curry's out. Thanks for the all-day support. And if you want to know how John and the Grizzlies are becoming the most hated team in the NBA, there's a video right here. And if you're still here, you're real one, so comment stay so I know. Appreciate the love. It's your boy MJ. We out and we vibe.